here we go. What a mad week it's been around Paradise. You've got Balikwisha being compared to a Ballon d'Or winner. Sutton absolutely tearing into one of our summer signings. And to top it off, there's talk of a young star who could one day replace Calmac himself. You heard that right. I've got all the latest from inside Celtic Park. And trust me, the last story is the one you can't miss. It might just change how you see the future of this team. Massive thanks to you for helping us smash 1,000 subscribers, but that's just the start. With more than 2,000 views on every story, if you hit subscribe right now, we'll fly past 1,500 subscribers, all backing the Celtic. Let's prove once again that our support is miles beyond anything the Rangers could ever muster. We have 6 news a day to keep you updated with the mighty Celtic. Hit that subscribe button and be part of it. Let's talk about the new lad, Michel-Ange Balikwisha, or Mickey, as Philippe Montagnier calls him. The boy's not just got a name fit for a Champions League night, he's got a comparison that'll make any Celtic fan's ears perk up. The man who handed him his first professional start reckons he's got shades of Ousmane Dembélé, a Ballon d'Or winner. Now that's not small talk, that's a proper statement. Brendan Rodgers chased this lad for over a year before finally getting him in August. And to be fair, what a nightmare timing that was. Celtic had just crashed out of the Champions League in that horror show against Kairat Almaty. Everyone was raging, and then here comes Balikwisha, walking into the storm like he's in the middle of a Glasgow downpour on Sucky Hall Street with no umbrella. Not his fault, mind you. If he'd arrived a wee bit earlier, who knows, maybe things would have gone a bit differently. He barely had time to breathe before being thrown into a debut at Ibrox. Talk about a baptism of fire, straight into the snake pit against the Blues. The poor lad must have thought he'd wandered into a war zone instead of a football pitch. Since then, he's only had one start, which has folk wondering, where exactly does he fit in? Montagnier, the guy who gave him his debut at Standard Liège, reckons Mickey's versatility might be both his gift and his curse. The man can play left, right, or straight through the middle, and that's maybe part of the problem. When a player can do everything, managers sometimes can decide what to do with him. But Montagnier's words were clear. He sees him as a proper number 9, fast, smart, great work rate, and presses like a man possessed. Sounds like a player who fits the Celtic way, doesn't it? He compared him to Dembele, that Dembele, saying Mickey's got the football IQ to drop deep, link play, and still get in behind. The difference is he's still finding his feet in Glasgow. It's hard to show your best when you're getting 15 minutes here, 20 there. But with the way Rodgers' system works, high tempo, interchanging positions, Balikwisha could be the kind of forward that thrives once he clicks into gear. And let's be honest, if he starts finding the net, the Parkhead crowd will adore him faster than the rain starts in a Glasgow summer. He's got that spark, that unpredictability, and if he lives up to that Dembele comparison, we might just have another star in the making. But here's what I want to ask you, and don't dodge the question. Do you actually see Michel-Ange Balikwisha becoming a key man for Celtic, or was this just another flashy signing that won't quite fit Brendan Rodgers' puzzle? Hit that subscribe button. Lads, let's guy it. Laldi till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic. Dafts. Let's talk about one of the biggest talking points floating around Paradise right now. Kieran Tierney, a Celtic boy through and through, one of our own, back home where he belongs. But according to Chris Sutton, the lad's miles off it. Now, Sutton doesn't mince his words, and to be fair, he's got a point or two worth chewing on. KT came back in the summer to a hero's welcome. I mean, who didn't get goosebumps seeing him walk out in that green and white again? It felt like the prodigal son had come back from the fancy life down south to lace up his boots in Glasgow again. But since then, well, let's just say it's not been the fairy tale return many of us imagined. Sutton reckons Brendan Rodgers is still trying to figure out his best team, and you can't argue with that. Between injuries, experiments with the back three, and this whole left-sided centre-half idea, KT's been caught in a bit of tactical limbo. One week he's a left-back, next week he's part of a back three, and before you know it, he's trying to rediscover his rhythm in a system that doesn't quite fit him yet. And that's where Marcelo Saracchi comes in. The Uruguayan, who's suddenly giving KT something he's not had at Celtic for years, real competition. Saracchi's full of energy, pace, and plays that inverted role Rodgers loves. He bombs up the pitch, links play, and defends with bite. The gaffer's clearly trusting him in big games, and you can see why. The balance looks different with him in there. Now nobody's writing Tierney off, not by a long shot. The lad bleeds green and white. He's just lacking rhythm, fitness, and maybe a wee bit of confidence after his time away. You can tell he still cares deeply. He's not the type to hide or go through the motions, but Sutton's right. Right now, he's chasing the game rather than dictating it. And with Saracchi breathing down his neck, he'll need to find that old fire again soon. Because, let's be honest, a fully fit, flying Kieran Tierney is one of the best fullbacks this club's ever produced. He's got the heart, the engine, and the connection to this club that money can't buy. But football doesn't wait for sentiment, not even at Paradise. So here's the question for you. Do you still see KT as Celtic's first choice left-back once he's fully fit again? Or has Saracchi come in and made that spot his own? Hit that subscribe button. Lads, let's giant loudy till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic daffs. Let's have a wee chat about this one and brace yourself, because it's a topic that might just ruffle a few feathers across Paradise. The whispers are getting louder around Parkhead. Could we actually be seeing the beginning of life after Calmac? I know it sounds almost blasphemous, doesn't it? But that's exactly the question swirling after the latest reports on young Samuel Isiguzo. Now, let's start with Colby Donovan. The lad's been making waves, hasn't he? From the B team straight into the senior side, standing tall against the likes of Red Star, Belgrade, and Braga. No small feat for a 19-year-old. The boy's been a revelation down that right-hand side, proving that when injuries hit, the Celtic Academy can still churn out proper talent. It's no wonder folk are calling him the poster boy for the pathway from Lennoxtown to Paradise. But this chat takes a turn, because while Donovan's been holding it down on the right, it's the middle of the park that's suddenly become the focus. Calmac, our captain, our metronome, the heartbeat of Celtic. He's 32 now, still class, still calm, but maybe, just maybe, showing the tiniest signs that time's catching up. The numbers back at 2, fewer duels won, more fouls, less zip in his play. It's not that he's fallen off, but he's not quite hitting those peak gears that made him untouchable. And that's where Isiguzo steps into the picture. 18 years old and already being called dangerous by journalists who've watched him dominate at youth level. The lad's not just got skill, he's got presence. 5 goals, an assist, and the captain's armband for the B team in 13 of his 16 appearances. That tells you everything about his mentality. He's no flashy showboater. He's a leader, one who looks like he's born to command a midfield. Now you might say, but captaining the B team in front of a few dozen is nay the same as leading Celtic out at Paradise on a Champions League night. True, but the signs are there. Leadership, composure, and that blend of grit and intelligence we love in our midfielders. And let's not forget, McGregor himself came through the ranks, grew under pressure, and became the general we rely on today. Maybe Isiguzo's got that same spark and the same steel. Jude Bonner, on the other hand, looks more suited to an attacking role. Great lad, loads of promise, but not quite the anchor you'd build your midfield around. Isiguzo, though, he looks like the real deal, as someone who can tackle, drive, and keep things ticking. Imagine him learning under Calmac for a season or two. By the time our captain's ready to ease off, Isiguzo could be ready to step in without missing a beat. And listen, this isn't about replacing Calmac right now. No chance. But Brendan Rodgers is no fool. He'll be thinking ahead. Donovan's already proven that if you're good enough, you're old enough. So don't be shocked if you see young Isiguzo sneaking into the squad before long. But here's what I want to ask you, and be honest with yourself here. Do you actually think it's time to start grooming Calmac's successor, or should our captain still be untouchable no matter what? Hit that subscribe button, lads. Let's giant loudy till we hit 1,500 mad Celtic daffs.